Hello and welcome to another installment of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. Oh, there's a lot of books, so let's get to it. So first on the list is All-Star Western number 31. Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray. Bad news. This title has been put on the chopping block and will end, I believe, in August. So sad to see it go. Really wish we could keep All-Star Western around. But hey, I've been enjoying it, and I will keep enjoying it till the end. And maybe we'll get another series. Hopefully. Next up is Aquaman number 31. Swamp Thing appears in this one. He had a cameo appearance at the end of the last issue. And this Aquaman story is still going strong after Johns' run. This is Jeff Parker on writing duties. He's doing a great job. So, looking forward to it. Next up, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Batman 31. 0 Year, the final act. So, it's coming to a close, people. It's coming to a close. 0 Year has been really good. A lot of people have heard complaints that it's too long. Yes, it has been running a little too long. It seems disconjointed with what's going on with the rest of the Bat family. I'm really glad we're getting these stories. It's really good to see them, but they need to end, and we need to get Scott back to writing current Batman stories. But I guess you're getting somewhat of that in the next title, which is Batman Eternal number 8. We're on week 8 of Batman Eternal. Still kicking ass, still a great book, and I can't wait for more, and I believe we have a lot more to go. 52 issues to be exact. Next up is Catwoman 31. This Catwoman had a slump back with the Gotham Underground story arc, which is the sort of Volume 4 trade that comes out this week. But it's rebounded very well from all of that, and I've been enjoying the stories again very much. So we get some rogues in this issue, and kind of a thief stealing game, which is a pretty interesting premise. So we'll see how it pays off. Next up is Flash 31. Flash got a lot of attention last month with the annual and the introduction of Wally West. The story that's going on right now with his time jumping and stuff seems really interesting. So we'll see how much more we get out of this issue. Next up is Harbinger number 23. Still loving the Valiant books. They're amazing. I highly recommend them to anyone who wants to just get a good solid read. So. Next up is Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark coming out of Forever Evil and the Blight story arc that it crossed over with Constantine, Pandora, and Phantom Stranger. Still a solid book. Still enjoying the shit out of this book. Nightmare Nurse is awesome. So anytime you get to see her, it's amazing. So Justice League Dark, still good stuff. Next up, we're on week 4 of the New 52 Futures End. Still enjoying it. They had the memorial for Green Arrow. I didn't get a chance to read last week's issue. I'm a little behind. Had some things going on, so I don't actually have a decent stack still to read. But I'll plow through, and so I'm going to get at least 2 weeks worth of this and Batman Eternal. That's nice. Next up is DC's Secret Origins. Issue 1 was cool. Had a couple stories. One was Superman, one was Nightwing. So this looks like it appears to be a Batman story. I didn't get a chance to flip through it, so I don't know exactly what's in it. But I'm really these have been really fun. Or the last issue was really fun, so I'm hoping that this continues in the vein. Next up, if you don't have enough sex, Sex 13 is out. This book is I don't know how really to describe this book. It's very in depth and it touches on certain issues and it's very graphic and it's overall just a kind of really just solid book that I think the title doesn't necessarily take away from. It entices you to read it more. But yeah, still enjoying sex. I know. I after I said it, I realized what I just said. Yes, I still enjoy sex. and I enjoy Sex, the comic book. So, next up is Shadow Man End Times. To be completely honest, Shadow Man has been the one Valiant title that's kind of fallen by the wayside. It started out really well, and then there was a creative change, and it didn't really hold muster too well, and I think it's kind of been floundering, especially since it doesn't necessarily have a clear, concise direction. But I'm still enjoying it. It's still a good read. But yeah, Shadow Man, probably not the strongest of the Valiant books, but, worth a shot. Next up is Sheltered, number 9. Sheltered has been an interesting read. It's a whole bunch of kids killing kids, and they think their world's coming to an end, but it really isn't. So it's just a really interesting read. Yeah, Sheltered. Next up is number 2 of Jason Aaron and Jason Latour's Southern Bastards. The first issue was absolutely amazing. I've been looking forward to this book since I heard about it back at the Image Expo 2013. Finally came out last month, and it delivered, so I'm really looking forward to issue number 2. If you live in the Midwest, lived in the South, lived anywhere small townish, you understand this book, and if you haven't, then read it, because it's not necessarily the know-all tell-all for Midwest, but it's awesome. Sad to see it go. This is the final issue of Suicide Squad, number 30. We're getting an all-new, I guess, Suicide Squad next month or in a couple months. Not exactly sure the date on that, but I will be picking that up. So it's nice to see where it ends. I really wish they would have Adam Glass come back, and it's Adam, their first writer on this series. Escapes from the E right now, but his work was amazing, and it's been overall a solid book and really, really fun. So sad to see it go, Suicide Squad, but you're coming back. This is my read list, so these are the books that I'm picking up to check out, not necessarily purchasing. So next up we have COWL, C-O-W-L, which apparently stands for Chicago Organized Workers League. Issue number 1, Kyle Higgins is writing. Looks interesting, so I'll check it out. This book has actually been really, really amazing, and if you haven't read it, you should definitely get it. Try and get copies, or there possibly will be a trade. There will be a trade paperback at some point soonish. But Dead Body Road, issue 6, loved it. The last issue was amazing. Was it Justin Jordan and Matteo Scalera? Amazing work on this book. Highly, highly recommend it. It would technically be on my pull list, but I can't get everything, and I'm slowly, I think, moving away from single issues in a sense, just because space and all that stuff. Yeah. So Dead Body Road. If you haven't gotten on it, get on this. Next up, it's an extra-sized issue. Ooh, Fantastic Four number 5. James Robinson has been doing a good job with the Fantastic Four. Johnny's depowered. He died recently. He's depowered. I don't know why they're picking on this guy, but still good. So I'm still checking this out, enjoying it. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy number 15, and apparently Captain Marvel makes an appearance, or is now on. I don't know. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. This new series by Bendis, it hasn't had the solid footing that Dan Abbott and Andy Lanning series had, which yes, you will be able to get after the movie comes out. Marvel don't understand why you don't release it beforehand. It doesn't have the solid footing. It's trying to tie in way too much with other Marvel books, Marvel events, all that stuff. And I found that a lot of the Marvel books that I read, that I really enjoy, don't tie in. They are separate. They have their own continuity that they follow. Occasionally you'll get somebody that pops in, but it's not something that's like earth-shattering or changes the story within the actual book. So we'll see where Guardians goes. I'm still checking it out. But Next up is Inhuman #2 by Charles Soule with art by Joe Mad. The first one, I'll read #2 basically. I know they crammed issue 1 in Amazing Spider-Man #1 as a freebie if you bought that book, which made it ginormously oversized and kind of pointless to have a book not even tied with Spider-Man in it. But if you got a copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1, you've probably checked out Inhuman #1. So I checked it out when it was its own book. So, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. I might just stay on as long as Joe Mad stays on. So it's either this issue or next issue. Who knows? Next up is Red Lanterns #31. Red Lanterns, just like the Green Lantern books. Yes, I'm a glutton for punishment. Trip, I understand, but I'm still reading them. Shh. Don't talk. Yeah, Supergirl's a Red Lantern. Guy Gardner's got some more hair on his face and top of his head. Checking it out still. The art, although I flipped through, is not the best, and it wants to be good art at points, but it fails miserably most of the other time. So, reading Red Lanterns #31. Next up, we have Serenity Firefly Class 03K64, issue #5, by Zach Whedon. This book has been amazing. Leaves on the Wind. This story arc. It's great to see these characters again. I love the Firefly TV show. The Serenity movie was awesome. I really wish we could get back to it. And if you hear that humming, that's the water heater here at my house. It apparently likes to make noise randomly. So yeah, Serenity. If you haven't been checking it out, check it out. It's awesome. And check out Firefly and Serenity the movie too. They're amazing. Next up is Superman 31. Now you're probably asking, or you don't give a shit, why do I have this on here? It's actually a Superman Doomed tie-in story, but they didn't label it at all anywhere that it's Superman Doomed. I did not read the last Doomed installment, which was in Batman Superman. Superman didn't, I think, barely appears in a panel in that book, and I was like, well, why am I reading this? So Superman 31, and apparently Lois is some brainiac crony. I don't know. We'll check it out. I don't know about you. Next up is Thanos Annual #1 by Jim Starlin. It's Thanos. Jason Aaron's Thanos Uprising or Rising or whatever. I don't remember what the title of it was good. I enjoyed it. And of course, with the buzz behind Guardians and the buzz behind Thanos coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everybody seems to want to be snatching up everything's Thanos. I'm gonna check it out, see how it is. I think there was a couple different covers but who knows. So there was a couple titles that I didn't grab just because we don't order very many copies of them, but I've still been reading them. First up on the list is Thief of Thieves 21. I may just convert Thief of Thieves to trade-only reading, which at this point is probably the way to go. Next up is Trees #1 by Warren Ellis, with art by, I believe, Jason Howard. It's Warren Ellis. I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. And then the last one is Winter Soldier, The Bitter March #4. Wasn't too impressed by the first issue, but then it kind of got its own. It wasn't screaming, Captain America Winter Soldier's coming out. I need to tell a story about Winter Soldier and shit. So it's been interesting, so I'm going to keep with it. And again, doesn't tie in with any events or anything. It's its own thing. Marvel, stop crossing over everything. It's annoying. Not that they actually watched this video, but oh well. And then I was there's something Miracle Man. The first hardcover came out this week. It's 4 issues. It's $29.99. You can get all 4 issues for $20 because they're $5 each. I don't know what's going on with Marvel's trade department. They overprice hardcovers. They overprice softcovers. They give you very little product. within these actual collections, and I haven't bought one. I wanted to buy Thor, the Jason Aaron Thor when it came out. It was 5 issues. It was overpriced. It wasn't worth getting. Uh, Marvel, I don't know what you're thinking, what your thought process is, but it's horrid the amount of you want to charge for these, and you seriously need to rethink this because I mean, just looking at the single issues of Miracle Man that you've now polybagged, we're not selling as many as we were before. So I don't know what's up with that, but we'll see. They'll most likely have some Miracle Man omnibus down the road, and I'll just buy that because those are normally a better, fairer value. So yeah. Other than that, if you haven't gone to see X-Men Days of Future Past, why are you still watching this video? You should go watch it. It's a good film. It does an amazing job of wiping out the continuity of X-Men, X-Men 2, and X-Men 3, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I don't know if it wipes out anything from The Wolverine, because I haven't seen it yet, but it does an amazing, amazing job getting rid of that continuity so we can actually move on and have good X-Men stories again in cinema. Yay! And if you have seen the movie, I most likely believe that the best scene in the movie is the one where Quicksilver runs around while it's, you know, the water's coming down and he's dealing with the guards and the bullets. Awesome! Wish he had more screen time in this movie. But yeah, other than that, you can check out more at conspiratorproc.com. You can come visit my YouTube channel where I will post these pull lists, and I also put up links or connect stuff that I think you should watch. You can support me and these little endeavors that I have with the blog and all that stuff by buying stuff through any of the Amazon links on the webpage or any of the ads. Those are all affiliated with me, so thank you if you click through those and buy something. What else? You can find me on Twitter. My handle's at BrockSager. You can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy, which we record every Monday night. We actually have been talking on the Comics Conspiracy about doing, well, Ryan was talking about doing longer episodes around times like when we have big things like Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men Days of Future Past, and kind of skipping a week of recording. If we end up doing that, I'm probably going to make a little fun, just kind of quick video where I, throw out a Twitter, throw out on Twitter, hey, ask me a question and I'll answer it on the video here. So, or make a new video of like Brock's answers Twitter questions because you didn't get an episode of the Comics Conspiracy. So yeah, if you think that's a good idea, let me know. If you think it's a horrible idea, let me know. If you don't really care, just let me know. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. Keep pass it on, let people know, and go get down to your local comic store today and get your books. You can support the Comics Conspiracy by buying any of the, clicking on any of the digital links on my blog, and so on and so forth. So, conspiratorproc.com. That's where this all comes to a head. And I think I'm done, and I'm tired, and I need to go to bed, especially since I have a ton of reading to do from this week and what was left over from last week. So, thank you again, and I also sell stuff on eBay if you're interested. My handle is Ashes, the number 2, 1979. Check me out. I'm doing sets and lots and stuff like that, so if you are looking for some stuff, check that out. Thank you for your time, and I will see you again next week.